Okay, good morning and welcome aboard Flight 701, Embraer 175 service from La Guardia, New York to Toronto. Just got on board the aircraft and going through our pre-flight preparations. Bit of an early morning start here, but everyone in the flight deck is chipper and we're ready to get the ball rolling here. So the first officer, Gord, is just going to do his overhead panel and the pre-flight cockpit configuration. Then we're going to call in our clearance and then program the FMS and do our briefings. Here we go. So Gord, go ahead on your overhead.
And overhead we go.
Okay, so Gord's going to do the overhead scan, and we've checked our oxygen, circuit breakers. We've done the cockpit configuration check. Checked that we have our pins installed, and we actually have a checklist for this here. So we have our circuit breakers, or we check fuel pumps, we check auto, wipers, the hydraulic electric pumps, 1, 2, 3B, 3A, mass deploy selector, gear lever, start-stop selectors, the RAT manual deploy, the flap slap lever, and then the emergency parking brake. So we check that before we actually sit down on the aircraft, and now we configure the overhead panel. So Gord will do that. So he's going to start with the DVDR panel. He presses the test button to make sure we don't get any ICAS message for DVDR fail. And then the electrical panel is make sure it's configured. So the IDGs are in auto, bus ties auto, the ground power is in use, and the APU gen switch is pushed in. Then the TRUs are all in auto for the DC, and the batteries are on, and the bus ties auto. Then the cockpit lights he checks. We do annunciator test, and we're just verifying that all the annunciators, the light bulbs are all working. So just so if we do have some sort of warning or if a switch is pushed in, that we can determine that it's pushed in. Without the light bulbs working, we would never know, because the flight deck is designed with a dark cockpit concept. So then the dome light we have on for prepping, fire handle is pushed in, the fuel panel is configured, cross feed's off, and then the pumps are all in auto. Then our passenger signs, he'll test the emergency lights, so you select that to on. We'll get an ICAS warning, and the emergency lights in the flight deck come on. He goes back to armed, the ICAS warning will disappear, and the lights are now armed. And he'll make sure the stereo light's off, and the smoking belts and the two switches are on, smoking belts. So the fire extinguishing panel is all dark, and we can do a fire test. So you'll hold the test button for less than 10 seconds. So we get the fire bells, the warning on the ICAS for the two engines and the APU, and the cargo fire, and all the lights have lit up. So we verify that fire test is good. Then the APU control, we can start it up. So we can select it to on, make sure that we get an indication on the ICAS. And the reason on the ICAS we have an APU fuel solenoid fail is you get that indication sometimes if the DC power is removed from the aircraft prior to the APU being completely off. That's quite normal. We see that quite a bit. So the APU is now starting, and we have indication on the ICAS. And you'll continue. The wipers are off, and then you'll configure the external lights. So everything's off except for the logo and the nav. Fire number 2 handles in. Hydraulic panel is all in auto except for the 3A pump is off. And the pressurization panel stop in auto, and the dump switch has not been depressed. Then the anti-ice and windshield heat buttons are all pushed in, and the mode selector is in auto, and test is off. Then the pneumatics, we can make sure that the cabin temperature controller is on the flight attendant mode. Cockpit control temperature is up in the 12 o'clock position, and all the packs and bleeds are all on. And then the passenger oxygen mode selector is auto, and the mass deploy switch has not been pushed in. So that's the overhead panel configuration check on the Embraer 190. Then we'll come across and configure the screen brightness, and then the guidance panel. We verify the altimeter setting, and we set it, and then you'll set the guidance panel up. So right now we'll do an instrument check. We got 3014 inches. 3014 inches is set twice, so instrument check.
Do your 80 trick.
Airspeed's blank, EADI's up, dark, no flags. So we're checking at the airspeed's blank. We got no flags on the EADI, and 3014 inches gives me sea level. 3014 inches gives me sea level on the standby and heading 200.
3014 inches sea level and heading 200.
And now Gord will continue the scan across the PFD, MFD, and the ICAS. And we can remove the ground power off the aircraft. So we come across, the ground prox has not been pushed in, the emergency brake is armed, and we check that we have sufficient oxygen and the oil levels and everything's normal on the MFD screen on my side. Then he'll come across and check the ICAS, make sure all the indications are normal. And we got 3 green and the gear lever's down. He'll set the clock and check, verify the date. Then come across down through the center console. The mode selectors are all guarded and not pushed in. The stall warning system has not been cut out, so all the switches have not been pushed in. There's no lights. Start switches are off. Ignition's auto. Speed brakes are down. Thrust levers are idle. The rat deploy handle has not been pulled. It's down and flush. And the ground prox flap override has not been depressed. No lights. Flap lever is 0, and we confirm it on the ICAS. And now we set up our audio panel in the cockpit door control we've checked. And the trim panel, Gord will run the trims through. So run all 3 trims through.
Trim, trim. Trim.
Elevator disconnect is stowed. Aileron disconnect is stowed. Emergency landing gear handle is stowed and switch is normal.
Okay, so that's the cockpit preparation check on the Embraer 175. Now we're going to call for our clearance and do our briefings. We've got Air Canada Flight 701 from La Guardia, transponder 3020. It's La Guardia 2 departure, runway 4. Runway heading for radar vectors to initial fix. Maintain 5,000. Expect request altitude 10 minutes after departure. Contact clearance 35-2. Read back the climb out and the squawk. And the routing, LaGuardia, Gale, Jet 95, Buff you to Toronto.
Routing matches the flight plan.
Excellent. Okay. LaGuardia clearance delivery. Good morning, Air Canada 701. LaGuardia 2 departure off of 4 runway heading, radar vector, squawking 3020 and information Quebec.
Air Canada 701, read back correct, ground point 7 for taxi.
Decimal 7, see ya. Go ahead, your briefing.
No MELs. Planning off runway 4. I'm going to do the chit first. 28, 490 for the weight, takeoff 3. On, off, and flap 1, 83.5. We are flexing TOCA's 1030. LaGuardia 2 departure, page 10-3 Alpha for New York. Standard transition level off of runway 4. Runway heading 044 to 600, then right hand turn 055. We're runway heading for vectors, I believe. Heading 044, we're going to maintain 5,000. 5,000 is set. TOCA and engine out off of 4. We are using our chit TOCA. And LaGuardia 2. No special engine outs.
Okay.
Excellent.
No MELs, no NOTAMs, so it all sounds good. And I will program the the FMS here. So I'll go through this. We're nav ident. Database is good. Date and time check. Dual. Position initialized 40, 46, 73, 52 is La Guardia. It's a company route, so La Guardia to Toronto. And we're off of 4. And the routing we've got is off of 4, just direct Gale, Jet 95 to Buffalo. And the arrival into Toronto is which runway?
Youth 2, runway 24 right.
So I'll put 24 right in the ILS. Vectors, Youth 2 via Buffalo. We'll insert it, and then the alternate
is Buffalo.
So read back on the routing. It's Air Canada 701, LaGuardia to Toronto off of 4. Direct Gale, Jet 95, Buffalo, Buffalo Youth 2, ILS, Vectors, 24 right. Alternate, Buffalo.
Activate.
Okay, what's our cruise Mach?
6-3.
Okay, so transit 290 transition 6-3 in the climb. Do the same in the cruise, same in the descent. Fit 800. Taxi
250.
flight level
Is 300.
top of climb winds
325 at 54.
0 fuel weight off the finals is 25090.
25090, yep.
Isodiv
Is -2.
fuel matches 28.7. We're gonna be good. That's with the taxi fuel, so confirm. Distance 352.
349.
Yeah, close enough.
Perfect.
The vectors.
Flap 1.
Flap 1. Speeds.
133 twice, and 136, and 176.
Okay, we'll just make sure it's in auto tune. Thrust setting. It's climb 3. Temperature is 7.
Yep.
On, off. Flexing at 35. And that should give us 83.5 or 83.7. That's close enough, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so now the aircraft is set up. I'm going to make a quick PA. Gord Stevens and our cabin crew. I'd like to welcome everyone aboard Flight 701. Also, special guests on board today, we have Mr. Udo Schaefer from JustPlanes.com and World Air Routes in the flight deck. They are filming the flight up in the flight deck for a documentary on the internal workings of a flight, if you may, and what goes on in the flight deck during the flight, and you can buy the DVDs at aviation stores or on the website. We're just completing our pre-flight preparations. We'll be pushing back here in 2 minutes. After we push back, it'll take us about 15 minutes until we're airborne with the taxi time. Flying conditions today, overall expecting a nice day for flying. Nice and clear out of New York today. Should be some nice scenery on the left side, and almost clear skies all the way up to Toronto. Latest weather in Toronto is just now partly cloudy, and that temperature currently 1 degree Celsius or 33 Fahrenheit. Relax and enjoy the flight and our service. I'll keep you up to date, and I'll pass along the latest weather during the descent. Thank you. Okay.
United, good morning. Air Canada 701, Alpha 7 for push and start.
701, push about 14.
Ground flight deck.
Go ahead, Cap.
Okay, we'll release the brake.
Yeah, go ahead, Cap.
Brake is off. Clear pushback. Spot 14. Delaying engine start till advised.
Copy, copy, thank you.
Go to runway 4, 1229. Wisconsin 3716 Bravo, check.
Wisconsin 3716 La Guardia, ground Bravo to the ramp.
5.
Hey, Can 741, your number 4 monitor.
Thank you.
Like 1229, your number 5, following the Air Canada monitor.
1229.
Bravo,
Starting
Bravo.
one.
And short of Echo, was that from 5700?
That's affirmative, Mercury 1500, short of Echo.
Alright.
Start engaged,
And then
N2.
you still working on that maintenance issue? Just
Oil
advise
pressure
your,
rising,
your
ignition
intention.
alpha.
We're looking it up in
Fuel
the
flow.
book. Bad mag check.
542, sir, break up.
Get back to you.
Brake is set, confirm when the pins are removed.
Copy.
Leave ignition,
3716, cleared in 7 Bravo.
N1.
3716, roger, Bravo to the ramp, take care.
To the ramp, Wisconsin 3716.
Okay, revert to end signals. Have a good day. Thanks for the push.
Probably going back to the gate.
N2. Oil pressure's rising. Fuel flow. Ignition. Ignition Bravo. N1.
Engine 2 normal. Ground reporting Air Canada 701, spot 14 for taxi.
41, 44. We're cleared into 5 Alpha.
PO404, roger, break, Canada 701, Alpha Echo Bravo 114.
Alpha Echo Bravo, Canada 701.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Alpha Echo Bravo down to 4.
Roger.
Okay, you can do the before takeoff checklist, please.
For takeoff checklist. Flight controls. Ailerons left. Ailerons right. Elevators up. Elevators down.
About 4155.
Rudder left.
Check.
PO4155,
Rudder right.
Check.
Bravo should have Lehman advised.
Brake temp is getting checked.
And Delta 2673, I see you stopped over there. You need any assistance?
Brake temp is checked. Takeoff weight 28. We are 28.6.
Yes, sir. We just
Got numbers for 28.9. Takeoff weight's cross-checked.
We're going to have to stop here for a minute, and then we're just continue after they sit down.
2673, roger, just advise when you're starting to move.
Takeoff data.
About 4155.
Runway 04 activated.
Roger, Mike to the ramp.
PFD. VFS is 176. Roll, takeoff 5,000. Heading 044. FMS. MFD map page
Canada
set.
701, number 2 monitor ticket.
For Tower, Air Canada 701.
Contact and departure, good day.
And MFD map set, Jeff.
Okay, reviewed and set.
Roger. And flap. 1 required, 1 selected, and 1 indicated.
1 selected, 1 indicated.
Trims. 4.8 up, centered.
4.8 up, centered.
Thrust and ICAS. Checked. 837. Flex takeoff 3.
Air Canada 741, contact and departure, good day.
Good day. And radar and terrain as required. Weather off.
Come on, 4109, go ahead, tell you,
Takeoff
number 3,
config
follow
time.
regional jet on downwind, wind 340.
Takeoff, okay.
Complete to the line, Jeff.
Okay.
Cactus 1229, wind 3408, runway 4, click takeoff.
Clear to go, Cactus 1229.
Weekend 701, go ahead, tell runway 4, line up and wave traffic, planning runway 31, additional traffic across downfield.
Line up and away 04, Canada 701.
Just hold off on the strobes.
Okay.
Don't want to blind people. Strobe lights in this airplane are very bright.
Clear to land, traffic on station runway 4.
Land runway 31, keep on 40.
Delta 1371, cross runway 4 at Papa, turn left double alpha, ground point 7 on the other side.
Cross 4, left on Bravo, contact ground on the other side, Delta 1371.
1371, turn left double alpha.
Double Alpha, Delta 1371.
Kilo 4421 is one for the tank.
Kilo 4421, the go ahead, Italia, number 3, following company dash downwind at 2,300, wind 3408, runway 31, clear to land, traffic on position runway 4.
Okay, you have control of your brakes.
I have control
I
on the
have
brakes.
ATC.
Cactus 1229, contacting departure, good day. Air Canada 701, wind 3408, runway 4, click takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 04, Canada 701.
Ready, guys?
Let's go flying.
AT. Roger.
B1 rotate. Pause rate.
You're up. Heading mode. Heading.
Air Canada 701, contacting departure, good day.
Have a good one, too.
Flight level change mode. Flight level change. Flap 0.
Cactus 1229, turn left heading 260.
260 on the heading, Cactus 1229.
New York departures, good morning, Air Canada 701 out of 2.4 for 5 off of 04.
Air Canada 701, new departure radar contact, good morning, climb maintain 15,000.
Up to 15,000, Air Canada 701.
Set altitude 15.
0.85, good day.
2085, Cactus 1229. Have a good morning, sir.
32. And Air Canada 701, continue left turn heading 320.
Okay, continue left 3, heading 320, Air Canada 701.
Set heading 320.
Beautiful view of New York this morning.
Air Canada 701, contact departure 118.17.
1817, have a good one, Air Canada 701.
Thank you.
New York departures, good morning, Air Canada 701 out of 6.2 for 15,000, heading 320.
Air Canada 701, your departure climb maintain 16,000, leaving 12,000 direct gale.
Okay, 16,000 and out of 12 direct gale, Air Canada 701.
Check 16,000 set. And
Set 16,000 set, and out of 12, I'll give you direct gale. I have it in the box ready to go.
Roger, thank you.
Yeah, the 12 direct gale. LNAV?
Yes, LNAV, please. LNAV armed. LNAV.
Quarter 120, climb maintain 12000.
Climb maintain 12000, 4120.
Sync the heading for me, please, Jeff.
All right. And let's go AP.
Sure, autopilot on, please.
York Charlie,
Autopilot
65, 8.5, 36A.
15,000 for 16,000.
And there we go. Departure out of New York La Guardia, well flown by Gord.
6,000,
Nice view of Manhattan as we made the left turn out there. We're just leveling at 16,000. Typically, New York departure levels us off here at 16,000. They keep us low here for the next, typically for the next 10 or so miles before we get a climb. Maybe this early in the morning we might get an early climb, but the departure out of New York, until we're further away from New York City, they keep us low and then they climb us.